Physical Oceanography. Objectives. After attending this lesson, the user should be able to understand an overview of physical oceanography in terms of its morphology and relief features, distribution of water masses and their properties, dynamic processes of the oceans, air-sea interactions, importance of currents, waves, tides, and other features. Introduction. Oceanography is the scientific study of oceans and seas. It deals with the distribution of oceanic water masses, morphology and relief of the ocean floors, depth zones in oceans, sediments of the oceans, marine mineral resources, oceanic processes, dynamics of water masses, and the role of oceans in controlling the global climate. The physics, chemistry, geology, and biology of the oceans are very deep concepts in natural sciences. Oceans are very dynamic and widely distributed water bodies. The nature and role of oceans are continuously studied by the oceanographers, marine biologists, marine engineers, environmental scientists, ecologists, geologists, marine geologists, meteorologists, climatologists, and geographers. It is one of the oldest subjects of mankind. Even today, the subject of oceanography is diversifying into many folds and branches. Branches of oceanography. Oceanography is a very vast subject. It has grown over a period of several centuries. The major branches of oceanography are physical oceanography, chemical oceanography, geological oceanography, and biological oceanography. Physical oceanography is the basis for all branches of oceanography. Hence, in this lesson, let us understand the components of physical oceanography. Physical oceanography. The physical oceanography is an essential part of oceanographic analysis. It is the study of physical conditions that are prevailing in the seas and oceans. It deals with all large-scale physical processes and their effects that are happening within the oceans. The processes are very dynamic in nature. They involve the water masses, which have heterogeneous proportions and dimension. The properties of water masses also vary with space and time. Physical oceanography considers all these aspects in projecting the oceans. This branch has grown due to historical oceanographic explorations and expeditions carried out by several scholars from almost all parts of the world. Very essential aspects of physical oceanography are to be understood first. Chemical oceanography. Chemical oceanography is the study of everything about the chemistry of the ocean, distribution and dynamics of the elements, isotopes, atoms, and molecules. This ranges from fundamental physical, thermodynamic, and kinetic chemistry to two-way interactions of ocean chemistry with biological, geological, and physical processes. Chemical oceanography attempts to analyze the interactions between oceans, lithosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere, seawater chemistry, controls in chemical distribution, components of marine sediments, and chemical controls in biological production. Biological oceanography. The basic ecological concepts are central to many studies of biological oceanography. The study of marine life, habitat, interactions, abiotic environment, phytoplankton and primary production, zooplankton, migrations and changes, energy flow and mineral cycling, marine food chains, food webs, nectants, marine reptiles, mammals, seabirds, mariculture, benthic plants and animals, intertidal environments, beaches, coral reefs, estuaries and mangroves are all studied under biological oceanography. Deep sea ecology and marine pollution are also the other two major important areas of study under biological oceanography. Geological oceanography. Geological oceanography is a division of oceanography mainly dealing with the basic concepts of lithosphere and hydrosphere. It includes the study of the oceanic crust, continental margins, ocean bottom relief, ocean basins, oceanic ridges, rift valleys, island arcs, seawater, marine sedimentation, geology of corals, beach forms and processes, water masses, factors affecting ocean circulation, waves and currents, tides and energy, coastal erosion and drifting of sediments, sea level changes, depositional environments, and marine deposits. Geological oceanography is also concerned with the occurrence of oil traps and energy sources, tectonic movements, underwater eruptions, mud volcanoes, and impacts of tsunamis. Essential aspects of physical oceanography. The very essential parts of the subject of physical oceanography include the following aspects. Physical oceanography invariably deals with the aspects like the physical setting of the seas and oceans, historical oceanographic explorations, instruments used in oceanographic studies, atmospheric influences of oceanic water masses, the oceanic heat budget, temperature, salinity, and density of oceanic masses, the equations of motion and equations of motion with viscosity, air-sea interface and response of the upper ocean to winds, geostrophic currents and wind-driven ocean circulation, vorticity and deep circulation in the ocean, equatorial processes and their effects, ocean waves and tides, numerical models, coastal processes, and ocean-induced hazards. It would be very appropriate to understand the evolution of the subject of physical oceanography by knowing it through some of its historical explorations made by the people. Historical explorations. A lot of oceanographic expeditions and explorations have been conducted by several groups of people under the support of ancient and modern kings and kingdoms. All those investigations have helped people over the years to understand the nature of oceans to a great extent. It is progression with many innovations and discoveries even today. Still, there are a lot of things found inside the deep oceans. The unexplored regions are more than the explored domains. Oceans offer a lot of marine resources, fisheries, mineral deposits, food resources, and energy resources. These are much useful to the human population of the whole globe to survive. It is necessary to understand the integrated aspects of the subject of oceanography with all the available scientific facts, principles, findings, and observations. The physical setting. The oceans are a very thin layer of water masses when we consider them on a global scale. The vertical scale is very small when compared to the horizontal scale. Hence, for all graphical representation, the vertical scale is to be exaggerated. The ratio of depth to width of the ocean basins is also very small. This ratio is very important for understanding the ocean currents. The vertical velocities must be much smaller than the horizontal velocities. Very small amounts of vertical velocities may have a great influence on the water turbulence in these bodies. World's oceans and seas. The Earth has only one large marine water mass. It is distributed in the forms of seas, oceans, gulfs, straits, basins, and bays. The total area covered by these two water masses is 361 million square kilometers. The total volume of this mass is 1,370 million cubic kilometers. It is higher than the volume of land above sea level, which is only 130 million cubic kilometers. The total mass of the oceans is 1.5 into 10 to the power of 18, which is 0.25% of the mass of the Earth. There are 5 major oceans on the Earth, as the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian, the Arctic, and the Antarctic oceans. All these water masses cover about 70% of the surface. Once more, all these water masses cover about 70.8% of the surface of the earth. Dimensions of the ocean. The dimensions of the oceans may range from 1,500 kilometers to 13,000 kilometers along latitude or longitude. The minimum width 1,500 kilometers is seen in the Atlantic Ocean along east-west direction, and it extends to more than 13,000 kilometers along its north-south extension. The surface area of the Pacific Ocean is 181.34 million square kilometers. Its average depth is 4,282 meters. The surface area of the Atlantic Ocean is 106.57 million square kilometers. Its average depth is 3,926 meters. The surface area of the Indian Ocean is 74.12 million square kilometers. Its average depth is 3,963 meters. The overall average depth of oceans is 3,800 meters. If we look at the depth regions throughout the oceans, we can see that majority of the area is occupied by the depth zone between 2,000 and 6,000 meters. But the deepest zones beyond 6,000 meters depth are noticed only in a few places in the West and Northwest Pacific, Midwest Atlantic, and a few isolated spots of the Indian and other oceans. Seafloor features. Bathymetry is the mapping of ocean water column. It provides depth-wise relief features. The depths of the oceans are measured using acoustic echo sounders housed on ships and altimeters housed in satellites. Bathymetrically, the relief of the oceans is divided into three distinct regions as continental shelf, continental slope, and the deep ocean basins. All these three zones have unique physico-chemical and biological conditions. They are also characterized by distinct geological features and Earth's processes. The morphology and relief of the seafloor include a wide variety of features. They include the submarine canyons, deep-sea fans, abyssal hills, abyssal plains, mid-ocean ridges, deep-sea trenches, seamounts, rift valleys, ocean fractures, oceanic troughs, and island arcs. Crustal plates. The Earth's crust is broken into various lithospheric plates that move relative to each other. There are convergent and divergent plate movements. Both of these movements are responsible to create new ocean floors at one side and subducting the ocean floors at the other side. Altogether, the relief of the oceans are under dynamic changes due to these continuing tectonic movements. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, rift valleys, rising of ridges, crushing of continental margin materials, and tsunamis are expected during these processes. Study of sun's radiation. All dynamic processes in the oceans are directly or indirectly controlled by the sun's radiant energy and the atmosphere. The dominant mechanisms are the role of sunlight, evaporation of seawater, infrared emissions from the sea surface, and the cooling or warming of ocean waters. The atmospheric circulations are controlled by the oceans, and the ocean water circulations are controlled by the atmosphere. Oceans are also the dominant sources and sinks of heat. Oceans can absorb, re-emit, store, and transfer heat very effectively by its constituent water masses. Solar heating. Solar heating is an uneven energy source. This uneven heating controls the strength and direction of winds in the atmosphere. The loss and gain of heat by the oceans produce winds in the atmosphere. Evaporation and condensation are two more mechanisms enacted by the heat in oceans and cooling in the atmosphere. About 50% of the solar energy reaching the planet Earth is absorbed by the ocean and by the land. One-fifth of the solar energy absorbed by the ocean is released back to the atmosphere through evaporation and infrared radiation. The balance is then transferred into sea and is used for producing currents. The heat flux is the transfer of heat across the ocean and along the sea surface. The flux of heat on water also changes the density of water and its buoyancy. It is estimated that about 4,000 joules of energy is required to heat 1.0 kg of seawater by 1 degree centigrade. Effects of heat on oceans. Earth gains heat at the top of the tropical atmosphere and it loses heat at the top of the polar atmosphere. The isolation is the term denoting the incoming solar radiation. It is determined by latitude, season, time of the day, and cloudiness. The polar regions are heated very less than the tropics. North-south movement is called as meridional heat transport. Areas in winter are heated less than the same area in summer. The heat in the morning time is less than the noon hours. There is no insolation at night. All these have an impact on the temperature of water in seas and oceans. Atmospheric pressure zones. Due to these, high and low atmospheric pressure zones are also created. Warm and cold fronts are generated out of these changes. The atmosphere within 100 meters above the sea surface is influenced by the turbulent drag of the wind. This layer of atmosphere is called as the boundary layer. Wind movements. Wind measurements in seas and oceans have been made for several centuries. The world's oldest wind reports were made as early as 1855. Wind speeds were understood through a convenient system of reference as proposed by Sir F. Beaufort in 1806. This is called as the Beaufort wind scale. The scale is a graded level of denoting the force of the wind and its impact on water and on land. It helps to know the severity and intensity of the wind on the sea. The force level ranges from 0 to 12, representing calm wind, to hurricane on water masses. Later, the conditions of the sea were also determined using the modified Beaufort wind scale proposed by Kent and Taylor. Weather observations on ships, including the Beaufort wind force, are measured normally 4 times a day all over the world. They are done at 0 hours, 6 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. at local times. Ocean water properties. The properties of water are essential aspects of physical oceanography. The seawater has certain physico-chemical properties which play a very significant role in the hydrodynamics and also on the marine life. The notable properties are the temperature, salinity, density, and light penetration. Temperature and salinity measurements with reference to depth are done using Beatty thermography, expendable Beatty thermography, and Nansen bottles. Salinity of seawater. Salinity is the total amount of dissolved solids present in seawater. It is represented as gram per kg of seawater. It is a dimensionless quantity. It ranges from 34.6 to 34.8 parts per thousand. It is also indirectly determined based on conductivity and chlorinity of waters. Seawater contains higher concentrations of all cations and anions. However, sodium and chloride are the dominant species present in seawater. Conductivity and salinity are measured using conductivity meters. The mean salinity of ocean water is found to be 34.7. Density of seawater. The density of water at the sea surface is typically 1027 kilograms per meter cubed. Changes in density generates vertical movement. Turbulence in the mixed layer mixes the heat downward. The flow of heat, evaporation, rainfall, river water inflow, freezing and melting of the sea ice all control the distribution of temperature and salinity of the water in oceans. Changes in these two properties can increase or decrease the density of water at the surface. It also promotes convection. When the surface water sinks into the deeper ocean, it creates much pressure variations and generates ocean currents. Temperature of seawater. Sunlight heats the seawater, warms the surface layers, provides the energy for all phytoplanktons, and helps in the navigation of many marine animals. Warmest ocean water exists near the equator, and the coldest water exists near the poles. The mean temperature of ocean water is 3.5 degrees centigrade. Below the mixed layer, the water temperature decreases rapidly with depth. Light penetration. Light penetration and absorption of light by oceanic waters are very important aspects for marine life to survive. Fluid mechanics and ocean dynamics. Fluid mechanics and ocean dynamics are very essential aspects in oceanography. Ocean waters are subjected to internal and external forces. The fluid mechanics and hydrodynamics are the two major concepts underlying many processes and life support systems in marine environments. The aspects included in this component are fluid mechanics, Newtonian mechanics, conservation of mass, conservation of momentum, angular momentum, and conservation of energy. Conservation laws. The other essential part of study in physical oceanography is the conservation of mass and salt. These help in deriving the continuity equation and for understanding the dynamics of mass and force. Many equations of fluid motion are derived from the conservation laws. The approaches employed under these concepts are conservation of mass, which leads to the derivation of continuity equation, conservation of heat energy, which leads to the computation of heat budgets, conservation of mechanical energy, which leads to the formation of wave equation, conservation of momentum, which leads to the use of Navier-Stokes momentum equation, conservation of angular momentum, which leads to the use of conservation of vorticity. Air-sea interface. Air-sea interface is a very unique zone on the Earth. It is the zone which will have the maximum atmospheric influences. The atmospheric influences come due to sun's radiant energy on one side and the wind-driven water movements at the other side. Forces acting on masses. The forces which are essential to understand the physical oceanographic processes are gravity, friction, and Coriolis force. Forces are vector quantities. They have both magnitude and direction. Gravity is the dominant force. The weight of water in the ocean generates pressure. Due to solar-lunar influences, tides, tidal currents, and tidal mixing all happen in the oceanic waters regularly. It is the upward or downward force arising due to gravity. It acts on a parcel of water. Density plays a catalytic role for enacting the buoyancy. Horizontal pressure gradients are also created due to the varying weight of water in different parts of the oceans. Friction of wind blowing over the waves, force of water movement or air movement over water may create the frictional forces. Wind stress is also created due to this motion. In addition to these, pseudo forces and Coriolis force are also acting on oceanic waters. Coriolis force results from motion in a rotating coordinate system. Ocean water circulation. Ocean water circulation also includes origin and movements of waves and currents. The following are the types of circulation seen in the oceans. The general water circulation. This is a permanent, time-averaged circulation. The deep water circulation. This is driven by mixing in the deep ocean. The wind-driven circulation. It is caused by local winds on the surface of oceans. The gyres, these are wind-driven cyclonic or anticyclonic currents of giant magnitude. The boundary currents, these are currents flowing parallel to the coasts. The jet streams or squirts, these are long narrow currents with dimension of few hundred kilometers perpendicular to west coasts. The mesoscale eddies, these are turbulent or spinning flows running for a few hundred kilometers. Motion with viscosity. The role of friction in fluid flows and the stability of the flows to small changes in velocity or density are to be understood in physical oceanography. Viscosity is the tendency of a fluid to resist shear. The influence of viscosity, especially the molecular viscosity which comes due to striking of water with solid mass, is to be analyzed. The components of stress at a point in a fluid having pressure include normal stress and other shear stresses. Turbulence. Turbulence is an important aspect in oceanic waters. Molecular viscosity is also affected by turbulence. Turbulence in the oceans lead to mixing. Because the ocean has stable stratification, vertical displacement must work against the buoyancy force. Vertical mixing requires more energy than horizontal mixing. The vertical mixing is very important in oceans as it brings up the deep waters in some regions upward. Stability of mass. In oceanic waters, stability is yet another parameter to be understood. Many kinds of instability occur in these water masses. The kinds of stability to be understood are static stability, dynamic stability, and double diffusion. The static stability is associated with change of density with depth. The dynamic stability is associated with velocity, shear, and double diffusion is associated with salinity and temperature gradients in the ocean. Ekman layer and Langmuir currents. Steady winds blowing on the sea surface produce a thin horizontal boundary layer called Ekman layer. This layer may be of few hundred meters in thickness. Ekman layer transports water at right angles to the wind direction and subsequently generate upwelling. This upwelling enhances biological productivity to feed the fishes and other marine life. There is also a deep ocean Ekman layer near the seafloor. A current that spirals around an axis parallel to the direction of the wind is called as Langmuir circulation. It is customary to think that ocean currents are driven mainly by the winds. Currents and ocean circulations are driven by not only the winds, but also other factors and forces caused by site, location, and space on the globe. Geostrophic currents. The role of geostrophic currents is yet another mechanism in physical oceanography. The theory for wind-driven geostrophic currents was studied by the scientists Sverdrup, Stommel, and Munk between 1947 and 1951. Satellite altimetric observations of the oceanic topography can give the time-variant data of surface geostrophic currents. Hydrographic data are used to calculate the internal geostrophic currents in the ocean. Flow in the ocean that is independent of depth is called barotropic flow, and the flow that depends on depth is called as baroclinic flow. Baroclinic flow can be determined by using hydrographic data. Types of ocean currents. There are several types of ocean currents existing in the oceans. They are Antarctic circumpolar current, deep ocean density-driven current, western boundary currents, Gulf Stream, Kuroshio current, Labrador current, Oyashio current, Agulhas current, Brazil current, East Australia current. Eastern boundary currents, California current, Canary current, Peru current, Benguela current. Vorticity. Vorticity is the rotation of the fluid. There are two types of vorticity as planetary vorticity and relative vorticity. The sum of these two is known as absolute vorticity. Vorticity strongly influences ocean dynamics. The curl of the wind stress adds relative vorticity to central gyres of each ocean basin. In the oceanic waters, rotations and the conservation of vorticity strongly influence flow over distances exceeding a few tons of kilometers. Equatorial currents. The deep circulation in the ocean is also an aspect to be understood. The equatorial currents moderate the air-sea interactions through the phenomena known as El Nino. It is an acronym for the child Jesus. These are found to be countercurrents existing along the Peruvian coasts. The east-west temperature gradient on the equator drives a zonal circulation in the atmosphere. This is called as Walker circulation. El Nino denotes a disruption of this entire equatorial system along the Pacific. It causes changing weather patterns around the globe. El Nino. The term El Nino is related to the Southern Oscillation, ENSO. El Nino is a sea level pressure anomaly in the eastern equatorial Pacific region. The tropical and equatorial Pacific is a vast ocean. It is a remote area which is seldom visited by ships. El Nino causes the biggest changes in equatorial dynamics. During El Nino, trade winds weaken in the western Pacific. This generates the Kelvin wave eastward along the equator. These are the largest sources of annual fluctuations in global weather patterns. Due to these, drought occurs in the Indonesian area and northern Australia. Similarly, floods occur in western tropical South America. Waves, tides, and coastal processes. In physical oceanography, a detailed study of the ocean waves, tides, and their impacts on the coastal zone is needed. Ocean waves are powerful systems shaping and reshaping the coastal zones. Waves have energy. When we look at the sea from above, we can see thousands of waves on the sea surface approaching the coast. These are undulations of the sea surface with a height of around a meter or few meters. Waves break if the water is sufficiently shallow. The broken waves pour water into the surf zone, creating longshore and rip currents. Ocean waves. Waves are the natural and outstanding phenomena of the oceans. Wave phenomena involve the transmission of energy and momentum by means of vibratory impulses. For ocean surface waves, the direction of propagation is perpendicular. For ocean surface waves, the direction of propagation is perpendicular to the wave crests in the positive direction. Ocean waves are produced by wind. The faster the wind, the longer the wind blows. The bigger the area over which the wind blows, the bigger the oceanic waves generated. Observations by mariners on ships and satellites using sensors and altimeters help to prepare the global charts and maps of wave heights. In addition to the wave heights and movements, the directions are also detected by the modern sensors. Wave properties. Each wave has a wave height, which is the vertical distance between the bottom trough to the top crest of the wave. The wavelength is the distance between two prominent adjacent crests or troughs. The wavelength may range from 50 to 100 meters. When we watch these waves for a few minutes, we can notice that the wave heights and wavelengths are not constant. They vary in space and time. Wave period is the time taken by two successive waves to pass through a fixed point. All offshore waves are generated by wind. It is also true that the sea level changes from hour to hour. Tides. In addition to these, it is also necessary to understand the coastal processes and tides. Sea level increases and decreases during a day. The slow rise or fall of the sea level is due to the tides. Tides have wavelengths of thousands of kilometers. They are generated by the slow, very small changes in gravity as influenced by the moon and motion of the sun. Tsunamis. Tsunamis are yet another issue in oceans and coastal regions. The impacts of tsunamis are very devastating. The recent tsunamis have made the whole world population to think very seriously about natural disasters. Tsunamis are low frequency ocean waves generated by underwater earthquakes. They are called as seismic sea waves. Sudden motion of sea floor over distances of 100 or more kilometers generated tsunamis with wave periods of 15 to 40 minutes. These may propagate at a speed of 180 meters per second with a wavelength of 130 kilometers in water. Tsunamis may be 3.6 kilometers deep and is not noticeable at the sea surface. After nearing the coast, the surge may rise up to 10 or more meters above the sea level. A tsunami can travel thousands of kilometers and do serious damage. The first wave of a tsunami is not likely to be the biggest. Tidal energy. Oceanic tides produce strong currents in many parts of the ocean. Their speed may go up to 5 meters per second in the coastal waters. Oceanic tides have a great energy. They modify the coastal geomorphic conditions very often. Shorelines of submergence and shorelines of emergence are two important aspects related to these waves and tides. Coastal erosion, coastal sedimentation, and tidal inflow are all the natural effects of these processes. Conclusion. The study of physical oceanography helps in understanding all these aspects in detail. Let us see most of these factors and processes in our future modules. Mathematical models of all these processes are also developed using these phenomena and mechanisms. The individual aspects of all the elements of physical oceanography are to be studied in detail.